During quarantine, I've made it a part of my routine to listen to worship music in the morning while making breakfast and eating breakfast with my daughter Gabby and my husband Tim. Worshiping in the morning has been a way for me to spend some time with Jesus and set the tone for my day while still being present to my daughter. This has become a new normal for me. I'm sure this has happened to you before, but have you ever been singing a familiar worship song and then suddenly the words of the song hit differently? Or have you ever been praying and God places a song in your heart and the words hit differently because of the season of life you're in? I was literally cleaning the bathroom this past Friday and thought about how so many things have changed and are still changing because of this pandemic, and how there can never really be a back to normal. There has to be a new normal coming out of this. So I pressed in and I started praying about that thought. And then the song It's Not Over by Israel and New Breed came to me, specifically a part that goes like this. Something is moving, turning around. Seasons are changing. Everything is different now. Here comes the sun, piercing the clouds. You're closer than you think you are. You're closer than you've been before. So look to the sky. Help is on the way. Our God is faithful, faithful to say it's not over. It's not finished. It's not ending. It's only the beginning. When God is in it, all things are new, new. And boom, there God told me, I make all things new. This season has been so very difficult for so many people for so many different reasons. People are crying out to God, what is happening? How do I get past this? How do we get back to normal life? But God is saying, actually, in this season of such drastic change, that He is faithful and He makes all things new. Even in times of such loss, hurt, loneliness, abuse, so many changes. This is not like, oh God, make all things new. Stop worrying about everything else. Rather, it's still acknowledging everything that everyone is facing, but having hope and trust, because God is the only one who can make all things new. We see the same message all throughout Scripture. Isaiah 43:19 says, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland." Revelation 21:15 says, "He who was seated on the throne said, I am making everything new." Then He said, "Write this down, for these words are trustworthy and true." He's powerful enough to make things new. Both in the Old Testament and the New Testament, during times of trials and hardships, God reveals Himself as the one who makes all things new. God takes our lives and all the pieces that make up our life and makes something different, something new out of those pieces. And it's the new thing that helps us know God more deeply and helps us reflect God more consistently. This is what God did with my time with Him in the morning. He made my morning rhythms new. Now I have a new normal. I think as we see things start to improve little by little, God is calling us to forget the normal we remember, because that's not something we can go back to. And He wants us to use this new season to show us that He is the only constant in our lives who can both help us through hard times and also provide new things on the other side. Picture yourself helping others trust God and pointing them to the hope of God, making all things new. Or just being the one who shows others hope and trust in God through how we respond to changes and new normals. In Hebrews 8:13, it says, "By calling the covenant new, He has made the first one obsolete. And what is obsolete and outdated will soon disappear." The way of life that we know it vanishes because we need to make space for the new things that God has for us. In order for us to live in the fullness of what God has in store for us in this season and the next, it's going to require a new normal. Let's ask God what new things he has for us and for our church in this new season, and trust that God will give us those things because he is faithful. It's not over, it's not finished, it's not ending, it's only the beginning. And when God is in it, all things are new. God bless you, church.